So now that we know what rational numbers are, we are going to have to talk about numbers that are not rational or irrational. As stated before, with the word itself, you can see that an irrational number is any number that does not belong to the set of rational numbers. In other words, it's a number that cannot be written in the form of a fraction. That is, the number cannot be written as a terminating or recurring decimal. And you may start thinking to yourself, what is a recurring or terminating decimal? A terminating decimal is simply a number that will end. So say, for example, I have a number like 2.36. That number ends. If I have 4.5, that number also ends. A recurring decimal is simply something such as 3.33 and so on, keep going on. Alright? And this number here, this 3.33, is equal to 1/3. Later on, you would see how you're able to get this to this. And some examples of the irrational numbers are, for example, pi, which you have heard about in primary school level, I assuming, and square root of 2, which you would probably not have heard yet, or e, which is probably something that you still haven't heard about yet, or maybe you have and you just don't remember. Most square roots I am going to put in this group too, because some of them you cannot find the end of that square root value. For example, the square root of 2 is usually an approximation, and if you're telling me that, hey, I can put this in on my calculator and get the answer, I am going to tell you this now. Your calculator gives you an approximation of square root 2. It does not give you the actual value of square root 2. So the symbol that would represent the set of irrational numbers, since it comes from the set of rational numbers, is the similar Q. But what we're going to do is we're going to put a bar on top of it to represent not Q. Alright? We will say that this is Q bar. And this here does not need any kind of set builder notation, because simply put, it's numbers that keep going on and on. We can't really put a general term to the set of irrational numbers.